the shadows of English football, a fallen giant waits. Bradford City, once the first ever winners at Wembley, now sit currently in Sky Bet League 2, miles away from the glory they once knew. But this is the start of something bigger. In Football Manager, I'm taking on the near impossible. 3 brutal promotions, a full club rebuild, and a shot at the Premier League crown. Every decision matters. Every transfer matters. Every match is a step closer. Let's go and make this dream happen. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, you want all of my rebuild files or tactics, you know where to get them by now. Let's lock in and take Bradford all the way to the top. So, welcome back to the channel, people. Today, I am going to be taking Bradford and putting them back on the map where they belong. We are going up to Sky Bet League 1. We are going up to Sky Bet Championship. We are going up to the Premier League, and we are going to win the Premier League. Now, this is not just 10 seasons. It could be 20, it could be 15, it could be 7, it could be whatever. The challenge is set, and this is going to be our ultimate objective. Now, inside of the game, they've got a 2-star reputation, 2-star training, 2-star youth, and, you know, silver stars in the youth recruitment. So, we'll be honest, there is a lot of room to grow as a club, which is completely fine. That is why I have come here to take on this challenge. Now, the owners are enjoying life at the club, so at least they're having a good time. And I will say, I've never actually been to the stadium, but that looks quite beautiful, to be honest, so it's an honour to be on the sideline. Now, in terms of the history, we have got 1 FA Cup, 1 Sky Bet Championship, 1 Sky Bet League 1. We have got 3 or 4 trophies technically, but the big ones, obviously, is this FA Cup right here, the Championship, and the Sky Bet League 1. Now, the overall aim is to, of course, get to the Premier League, but to do that, we have to get multiple promotions first, so it's going to be a bit of a task. Now, in terms of where they are in real life at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, they are either 3rd or 4th. Now, this game is predicting a 7th place finish. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, boys and girls. I am always confident with some of the tactics we whip up. Now, I am taking your comments on board, as I always do, because I love you, boys and girls. You've told me not to use my OP tactics all the time, so I've simply loaded in a bog standard 4-3-3. Nothing crazy, no meta, none of this. It is a bog standard 4-3-3, and we're going to see exactly what we can get done. If we need a little bit of help as we go on into the video, I will make it a little bit more sort of, you know, let's say, meta, if you want to say. But for now, we are going to go in with a basic system. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. I do not know many players in this team, and hopefully at the end of the video, I can start to, you know, get familiar with some names, and who knows, maybe I'll become a Bradford fan. I don't know. But one thing I have noticed is we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players on loan. Now, if you watch me, and you watched the previous rebuild of mine, however that may come around, I am not a fan of having a lot of loanee players in the first season, because this guy's a good example. The guy looks ridiculous, he looks incredible. The tackling's not the best, but he's in Sky Bet League 2, we can work on that. He is rapid, he can cross, good work rate, good stamina. The guy looks absolutely incredible, but can we afford him afterwards? Going to be up for debate, because the budgets in this league aren't that much. Now, I make no signings anyway in the sort of first window, so I'm completely fine. But if you are playing back home, you only would have had 42 grand anyway. The debts and loans are practically clear, although there's quite a fair bit for a club at this level, so we are going to make sure we clean that, and hopefully after a promotion or two, we can obviously go in to the big boy leagues, hopefully debt free. So we've got a good loanee left back. When it comes to this midfielder, I'm going to be honest with you, I can take or leave him. I'm not going to sit here and cry if he doesn't join permanently, because I think there probably are better options out there. You then look forward, and this is one that I really do want and probably won't be able to afford. That is going to be Michael, because this guy actually looks so good for Sky Bet League 2. He's actually a good Sky Bet League 1 player. So I can pretty much bank that he will easily bag 15, 20 goals this season, because he's obviously a whole level above. He's got the composure, got the finishing, bit of movement in there as well. He just looks like a really, really good player to have. Apart from that, the other loanee players aren't exactly much to talk about. They're almost Vanarama sort of standard left-handed players, which isn't, you know, anything bad, but obviously nothing crazy to talk about. Now, looking over at the rest of this team, we also do have the likes of Wright on the left-hand side, who, again, I think for this first season is going to be good, and I will say exactly the same thing about this man, Bobby, on the right. Now, he is a national player, a Vanarama national player, but he's got a bit of pace. The crossing's not great, so he might not do as well as the left-hand side, but what I'm trying to say is, in one simple way, is I think we've got enough firepower here to actually go through and potentially get automatic, if not in the playoffs. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's going to be a massive, massive challenge, because I think this team can do it. Now, a big addition is this guy. He looks very, very solid. Now, I will say he's 32, but if this man can stay around until we get back into the championship, that would be an absolute dream, because he is ridiculous for this level. Yes, I know he's old, but he's an experienced man who has played for some very, very big teams in England. So, do you know what? I am happy to have him. When it comes to the right back and the likes of Johnson, again, really good player, good tackling, good pace, he's good at everything, to be honest, for this level, and again, 26, so as long as we can keep some of these key figures until the championship, then maybe they get too old, they can't hack the Premier League, because I think we've got players in this team, not everyone, but some players in this team, that can actually play up to a championship level. So the aim is to obviously focus on Sky Bet League 2, try and at minimum, get to the playoffs. That is a bare minimum. Ideally, either first or second, automatic promotion. I am not too fussed about any of these in terms of the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Of course, if we go on a miracle run, I'm going to be buzzing. Anything past the quarterfinals, I think, is a great, great run. And the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, I will say, it's not a big name, but I will take it. I will happily win that trophy. So the main thing, focus on Sky Bet League 2. Focus on that. That is a big, big addition if we get it. And these two, they're shot in the darks. Probably won't happen. If it does, it does. Again, I will say, if you do want to get all of these perks, which does include this rebuild file and all of my rebuild files, over 200 tactics I've created this year. Ad-free viewing, which will be pretty handy for these. Be sure to go and check out the Patreon in the link below, where there is still just about 20% off. But enough waffling, Q Season 1. Champions, that is right. I did say it was a possibility. I was very confident on at least getting to the playoffs, and we have actually won very closely. I will say Fleetwood and Colchester are going to be coming up with us, so quite a good league in my opinion. Very tight between the top sort of teams, and it is going to be Big Michael coming in with 26 goals. Now, this is going to be bittersweet, this, because in terms of money, we'll go and see right away. We've got about 30, we've got more than that, surely. We've got 1.8 million, which isn't half bad for a team like this, but we are never, ever going to be able to get this guy on the permanent, so we're going to have to appreciate what he's done for us, but he is going to go back to his club in Burnley and probably get some game time, because the guy scored 26 league goals. He's an absolute bagsman, and honestly, if he is available when we get to the championship, you know, maybe we try and put a bid in, because I will remember the name and sort of keep track of him, because genuinely, I really, really like how he played. So, big fan of that. We've also got a goalkeeper in joint second on the clean sheets. We've also got the likes of Wright, second most assists in the league, tied with Adam Mayer. So I tell you what, he did do very, very well. Really happy for him and really happy for the team. We worked hard. We deserved this. We really did go for it. And this is exactly what we deserve. Now, the rest of the competitions, okay? First off, we do not get very far in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, which I would have liked to get at least to, you know, a further stage in it, but it is what it is. We have got promotion. In terms of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, I am only annoyed because they're two teams that I think might be better than us, potentially, although Grimsby, obviously, we are better than. Bolton, obviously, are higher up than us. To go out against Grimsby in the Carabao Cup and then against Bolton, once we've had such a strong season in the Sky Bet League 2, I do feel like we could have done better. I will be honest, but I am not going to sit here and be angry, because we have done, inevitably, what I wanted to do in the first season. Going to the tactics then, who played well, who didn't? Firstly, Johnson played very well. 3 goals, 11 assists. Our lonely left back, who maybe I can look to buy. Is he interested? About 150k to 1.5 mil. We can't go anywhere near the 1.5 mil, 200k, I'll consider it. Very, very good season. Evans, good season. Lee, great season, 4 on 11. We've got really good stats here out of right on the left-hand side. Very good stats from the striker. Also, Cook coming in, who did cook. That is an awful joke. Coming in with 10 goals, which is a very, very good helping hand. This man on the right, Poynton. He weren't pointing towards goal, I can tell you that, because 1 goal and 2 assists is not it. And I knew it would be an issue. He was injured, to be fair, for about 2 weeks. So, I mean, we've got to bear that in mind as well. We've got 13 goals here coming out from a man that I didn't even talk about in Clark. Now, this guy should have been mentioned in the intro because he actually is absolutely electric and enjoyed a stellar season. So fair play to him for that. We also got this man coming in with 10 and 5, Big Antony. Again, a 32-year-old player. One pattern you're probably going to notice quite quickly is that our best players are either going to probably peak too early and not be good enough for the higher leagues, or they are going to become old and not even get a chance to play in these real big leagues, which is always quite a sad thing when you get a player that, you know, is with the club for so many years, with them through thick and thin. He gets them back to the big time and then he just can't hack that level. It's quite sad. Reminds me a bit of Sam Morsey a little bit for the Ipswich Town team. Obviously vital through the promotions. The Premier League just gets absolutely torn apart, which is heartbreaking to see. But I mean, that aside, that bit of, you know, bit of reality aside, we are going to go into the next season, try and spend some money. One of my big weaknesses on this game is working with limited budgets, so we might even try and do the unthinkable of going without any transfers, but I doubt that will happen because we have only got, well, we're going to lose 6 players that are on loan at the club. We are, however, going to gain 4 players back, one of them being Wilson, who scored 8 goals and got 2 assists, but he was playing at TNS in the, okay, we can't rely on that. To showcase something we're going to try, we have signed no players because I thought if I didn't spend, we can have maybe 2 seasons if we need it in Sky Bet League 1, clear the debts completely, and then become, you know, a bit bigger spenders. We have got no transfer history, so just to prove it, literally nothing going on. Let's see how badly that might have affected us. We are off to Wembley again in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy against Wrexham, so quite a tough game, it has to be said, and we're going to get off to a great start here with an absolute lashing finish into the bottom right corner past the goalkeeper, who actually does look quite good. Cook is then going to step up, and it's a great penalty into the bottom left, and we lead 2-0 in the 90th minute. A big injury there, but we are going to play on. You know, maybe we should check up on our teammate, or should we? Because it is going to be 3-0 from Cook. Little turn, pause and engage, and we're going to lead 3-0 in 90 minutes, and we are going to go and make it 4. The last kick of the game, we are going to be a trophy winner in Season 2. That is beautiful. And we also done the unthinkable and did win Sky Bet League 1, and we absolutely walked the park with Wrexham in the final and also in this league. Now, I will go over and say one thing. Clearly, given other players opportunities, the likes of Callum, for example, coming in, 21 years of age, a real big player for this team. I can tell you something right now, okay? He come in, 19 goals and 3 assists. A very strong performance. So we do have players sort of lurking in the background that I didn't really talk about too much. The other one, Callum Johnson, obviously we're familiar with him. The right back really stepped up to the mark this season, coming in with 14 assists, which is absolutely remarkable. Our goalkeeper coming again, a real strong performance. Joe Hilton, really good. And the fact we have won the league by this many points with no signings is absolutely beautiful to see. The rest of the competitions weren't that great. Exit to Walsall in the second round of the Carabao Cup and to Bristol Rovers. But the fact we are already in the Championship, we have won this trophy while we can compete in it. It makes sense to try and make it happen. We have got that done, and I am so proud of these lads up front. I mean, if we filter by the best 11, you look at this team, and I'm not being funny, but we've actually got this man, 27 and 6, Callum, Callum. What a season for him. 27-6, 14-14 from the man that we did say we need to talk about more. He is absolutely killing the game right now. 14-13 for right. He is now playing on the right-hand side. 11-11 coming in there. 17-11. Our wing-back with 18 assists. These wing-backs potentially can play in the Championship. And that instantly comes over to my next question. How many players survive in the Championship? How many players stay with us now we've got promoted? How many players want to move clubs? Because some of these players will have transfer offers. It's quite simple. They are going to have teams that are going to be interested. The likes of our left mid, for example, and maybe even Callum. What I hope is they'll understand that we are on a real good projection here to go up to the Championship and be not only sort of in the relegation battle there, but hopefully mid-table first season, push on, and I'm aiming to be out the Championship within 3 seasons. That is what I'm going to aim for here, and then really hit the Premier League hard. Now, in terms of money, we have got a budget of around 1.9 million. Now, I don't know how we're close to breaking this because we haven't spent a single penny and not signed anyone, so that's bang out of order. The debts and loans, there's a little bit more now on the net debt, which is a little bit annoying, so we are going to have to be quite cautious on who we bring in. And realistically, at this level of football, we're probably talking free agents, loans, or incredibly cheap transfer fees because we have not got hardly any money to work with. But the harsh reality, we are now going up to the Championship and we have to be somewhat competitive enough to stay up. Right then, signing one is going to be Marcus Harness. Now, he is going to come in on the free, and he actually has a good season. 6 goals, 10 assists as well. A really strong season, dropping a 6.93 on the average rating. And I will go and say one thing right now. He is a Championship player. He does really well in the Championship. At Ipswich was my last memories of him. So I thought, do you know what? He's pretty much a banker to get in and do quite well. And he did that, to be fair. Next up, another freebie is going to be Brandon Fleming. Another left back to add to the mix as he comes in, obviously, on the free, plays a ton of games, and also picks up 8 assists and a goal. So a very strong season on very minimum amount of money per week as well. And as left backs go, he might not be the quickest, but he is rock solid. And oh boy, he can put a ball in the box. Will be a throwback for my people. Eric Bailly coming in. Now, he is a very leading Sky Bet Championship player and the biggest player in this team now in terms of reputation. He has played for Villarreal, Marseille, United, Besiktas, Villarreal, and now Bradford City. He comes in and plays a ton of games, actually stays fit, scores a couple of goals, a good average rating as well, and Eric Bailly back in England. Life feels better now. Another signing, another freebie. We are going to pick up our Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle. This is the Bradford version because he just, you know what, in fact, he doesn't remind me of anything at all. He's nowhere near as good, but he is our version. Now, this guy come in mainly because he was on the free, and it might have been a bit of a get him because he's on the free vibe because he's nowhere near good enough to play, but I went into this season quite alarmed at the lack of depth we had in this area. Lastly, we spent big, and I mean big. We spent 57k, so hardly any money at all, but one incredible signing. 4 goals, 9 assists, 5 player of the matches, a 7.10 average rating. This guy, although having a lot of down arrows at the moment, I imagine maybe a late season injury, something like that. The guy looks absolutely incredible. Yes, he's on the older side, he's 27. Are we in a position to complain about, you know, age of players? No, we're Bradford City. We can't go and get Jude Bellingham, Musiala, Florian Wirtz. We have to get Christiansen, which is completely fine because he has had a very good season. And looking at the transfers we have made, I think everyone, apart from this guy, has actually done quite well. So I'm not even going to lie to you. I think we've done way better than stay up just about. I reckon we're in the potentially top 10. Was better than that. We are in the playoff final, baby, against Blackburn Rovers, and this is going to be one incredible game. This could be a chance for back-to-back promotions, and we are going to lead. That is a great start from Cook inside of 15 minutes. And are we going to... Oh, no. Blackburn are going to respond around about 4 minutes after. Bailly with a very dodgy clearance, and that is going to be a scrappy, classic playoff final goal, as it is going to be tied up 1-1. 78 minutes on the clock. Fleming, down the left-hand side, the new new man, going at his man. That is a one incredible ball in. Leap, Cook, leap. He does leap, and that is going to be a 2-1 advantage inside of 78 minutes on the clock. We're going to go again. We're not going to go again. It's an awful ball, and this is going to be Blackburn literally 3 minutes after our goal through, and it is going to be a great chance and a great finish, and things are tied up, and we are heading to extra time. Here we go. Blackburn on the attack, 94 minutes down the left-hand side, absolutely butchers our fullback. Awful defending from Evans, and he's going to go alone, and that cannot be excused. That is an absolutely ridiculous goal to give away, and Blackburn now really running at the back line. And what is that? What is that challenge? Oh no, not again. 2 defensive errors and 2 goals conceded, and Blackburn are going to lead 4-2. Is there time? There is time to get a goal back. It's a great ball in and an even better leap, but it wasn't enough. We lose in the biggest stage of them all. We are going to go out in the Sky Bet Championship playoff final against Blackburn. That is a big knife in the back. But I mean, it is heartbreak, but looking at it as a grand picture, okay, I will say one thing. We shouldn't have even been in this situation. We shouldn't have been this far up, realistically. So it is a great first season. We've got a couple of players to talk about. Joe Hilton still doing it at the highest level. Harness doing a great job. Andy Cook, the top goal scorer. Our 35-year-old bagsman. Absolutely incredible from him. The rest of the cups didn't really go our way. A 5th round exit by City. That's completely fine. And also Everton are still miles above us at the moment anyway. So although it's a little bit annoying, we actually did do very well, obviously, in the league. 3rd place, quite a fair few points behind Leeds and Bournemouth, so to be honest with you, you know, we can't even really be disappointed that we didn't go up, because it's not like we were a point off the top 2. Bournemouth and Leeds absolutely run it, and that's complete fair game. But to get to the final, if you've done it in Football Manager, you know it hurts a little bit. You know where I'm coming from, but it's a big overachievement. We've got to be honest and say it as it is. Now, in terms of money, I hope we've got more than that, because, you know, I'm not being funny. We do need to start to sign some bigger players now. In terms of the team, though, we can be very happy with a lot of these players. I mean, we go to our best 11, Cook, 29-2. In probably his last season. Cook, you've cooked. Enjoy your career, mate, or enjoy your retirement. We've then got Wright, 15-3, 7-10 for Harness. The new man in midfield is great season there, 4-11, 9-10 coming in there as well. 1-10 from Fleming at left back. The bench players done okay, 7-8, 5-4. Not exactly electric, but we're still rebuilding our 11, let alone the entire squad. So there's a bit of, you know, pressure now, because the first season in the Championship, we're already in the playoffs, so minimum next season would be the same expectation. So we are going to go right into it and see what we can do. But so far, we're doing really well, guys. I mean, the reputation's on the up. An improvement requirement that I sort of asked for on the youth facilities actually got disowned, but excitement in the process of a board takeover. Bradford are about to get some cash, is what I think. And I tell you what, with these, look at the line. The line has gone all the way up, and hopefully the budget is going to go all the way up. Right then, signing number 1 is going to be a crucial signing. It is going to be João Fagina coming in from Stockport for a total of 1.1 million. Now, this guy, our goalkeeper's been good, but considering we are going to hopefully lead into the Premier League soon, I think this guy is going to be the better option in the long term. He enjoyed a great first season, and he is a very good option who cost me, yeah, over £1 million, but we're now in a place that we can afford to spend that. And number 2 is going to be a freebie, and hopefully will be the difference between being one of the more, not worst teams, but not a great team at defending, compared to a very good team at defending. A new goalkeeper, a new centre-back. In his prime years as a football player, welcome in Renzo. Not the quickest, but incredibly solid when it comes to defending. He comes in on the free anyway, plays a ton of games, and he's only on 5k a week, so not too much to invest. Next up is a big gamble that did pay off. Now, he was a freebie, and he scored 25 goals and picked up 5 assists, so the guy is incredible. The reason why I said a freebie, a risky freebie, is he's 32. So this guy's probably got, what, max a couple more seasons, so he's not a long-term option by any means of the imagination. But in a dreamland, he can get me to the Premier League and have 1 season in the Premier League and hopefully keep us up, because at the moment the guy has probably got the best attacking stats easily in our team. And lastly, we are going to pick up, hopefully, a bit of a bagsman. That is going to be Indrik, coming in from Sparta Prague for 56k. Bargain. 18 goals, 6 assists, 6.99 on the average rating. This guy was brought in to sort of help the likes of the previous man, because I don't really see the point in signing the likes of Balde and then giving him no one to work with. This guy can score goals. He did score goals. And do you know what? At the age of 26... if he carries on this run of form, he potentially can also get a little look in the Premier League. So that is also an added bonus. The guy is an absolute unit. He can also play on the right and the left-hand side. A bit more expensive when it comes to the wage, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're now in a phase where it's our second season in the Championship. We want to keep improving. So a brand new goalkeeper, a brand new centre-back, a brand new winger/striker, wherever he wants to play, and a brand new striker as well. That is a very strong window that cost me 1.2 million. So we're not digging into the transfer budgets that much, and that hopefully will help us recover our finances just a little bit quicker. Big improvement in the FA Cup. Yes, we lose. Yes, we go out, but only by 1 goal against Chelsea in the quarter-final. Really an improvement on the Carabao Cup. A second round exit to Stoke on penalties, which is quite annoying. What isn't annoying is going up joint with Norwich, both on 100 points, both with 31 wins, 7 draws, and of course 8 losses, but they had the better goal difference, so it is completely fair. What is very interesting to see is this man here, the top goal scorer in the entire league. So that was a very, very good signing. Harness is going to be the most player of the match awards. We've got Brandon Fleming with the most assists, of course, our new left back from last season, and Harness with just 1 less assist than them over the entire 46 games. So a very, very strong season where we are going to see Millwall, Wrexham and Preston actually go down. Norwich are going to join us in the Premier League as well. And this is now where the video gets a little bit, it gets exciting, because we are going to the biggest stage of them all. The I miss saying that. The Premier League. The Premier League is where we are going to be going. And I tell you what, this is going to be a real big test, because I love these players. These players on the screen right now have done me nothing but proud. And look at the return on Fleming. 2 and 21. Surely he gets a run in the Premier League. 12 and 10 for Patterson. This man, 6 and 8. Harness, 16 and 16. 27 and 5. 21 and 6. What I am worried about is this. Harness is a good example. He's shown that the Championship is his level in real life. The Premier League isn't. Is that going to be the same in the video game? We're going to find out very shortly. The same's going to be said for Balde. He's had an electric season in the Championship. He is getting older. He is also now wanted by Luton and Nottingham Forest. Anybody else wanted? Anybody else wanted? Just a couple unhappy people? No, we're completely fine. So this is going to be interesting now to see exactly who actually stays up and can compete in the Premier League. Can we compete in the Premier League, or are we going to go right back down? What is going to happen? And only time's going to tell. Now, I don't think our transfer budget has updated. We've got £47 million to spend. The debts and loans, a couple of million left, but we have got new owners in right now, and they have given us a very, very, very generous budget. So we are going to go in and strengthen, and my usual golden rule is to sign from the back up when you get a promotion. Strengthen up the back line. The goals might come very, very thin. Not many goals, but we're going to see what we can do, because ideally, I think we need 4 to 5 players here. Had one incredible transfer window, let me tell you that. First signing is going to be Gonçalo Franco, coming in for £5 million. A very, very good midfield player who did have a great first season in the Premier League. And I tell you what, for players of that value and that wage and the interest to come to Bradford City, he is one of the better options you're going to get. He's versatile, can play DM, centrally, or even really attacking if needed. Yes, he's 27, he's on the older side, but let's be realistic of who we can get, okay? This was a very good option. Maybe a better option, again on the older side, but also on the free, Joe Willock. An absolute honour to have him at the club. 5 goals, 8 assists, and a man that has played for 2 of England's biggest clubs. So I am never going to turn him down. He is absolutely electric. He can play on the left, through the middle. Again, versatility, one signing, didn't cost me a penny, only on 15 grand a week, and we can sell him for 20 million if we need to. This guy made complete sense, and he had offers from pretty decent teams, so the fact he chose us, it means a lot. It really does. 2.1? I didn't have a bit of a brainwave there. I think 2.1 million. 2.1 million. We are going to pick up a player here who I will say is just brought in to strengthen up the back line. Now, I will say a bit of a gamble because he has spent a lot of his time in Belgium and it's been okay. The last season was quite impressive. The season before was really strong. So based off recent form, it was a bit of a bank and sign and a bit of a good signing. But probably not my go-to centre-back overall. But for a season, he'll probably do enough. Another player on the free is going to be Issa, coming in from Man City actually on the free. 30 games, 3 assists, drops a 6.77. This player is 27, so again, a bit on the older side, but he has got the pace, the crossing, the tackling, good off the ball work as well, good bit of stamina. This guy can go up and down the right-hand side and can really play as an aggressive wing-back if needed to do so, or a bit more reserve. So a very good option, and again, you know, he cost me nothing. My most exciting signing is going to be David Oza, coming in from Crystal Palace for £7.7 million. The guy had a great first season, 6.9, 2 goals, 1 assist as well, and he is playing deeper, so we're not expecting loads and loads, but the guy... he's so good because he has got the pace, which is very rare for a player in this sort of area of the field. He's got great fitness, great stamina, immaculate work rate, good tackling, passing we can work on a little bit because he is 23, so a bit on the younger side. He's English, great for registration, and again, not on a ridiculous wage also, and considering we signed from an English team, that's a very, very, very fair price tag. Big player, and a player that I love to get if I can for teams like this, is going to be Nene. He comes in for 11 million, 7 goals, 5 assists. A very good return for his first year at Bradford. Again, a bit of a gamble because he spent his time in Austria, Belgium, and obviously Mali. And I tell you what, he has done me very, very proud. A decent Premier League player, 25, so he's got 6-7 years in him at this club, which is really, really helpful to know. His one weakness in his game, despite scoring quite a fair few goals, is he can be a little bit rash in front of goal sometimes. He always does well to get into the areas, but the finishing can be a bit of an issue. So we are going to work with him on a one-to-one basis and hopefully really turn him in to a bit of a bagsman. 3.5 million, we are going to welcome in Michael, coming in for a grand total, as I said, of 3.5 million, a backup option when it comes to the centre-back, 6.65 average rating, 12 appearances, minimum investment for a pretty experienced centre-back. Again, not the quickest player, so he can only really play next to one of our quicker centre-backs to really make sense, otherwise we're going to be very, very vulnerable, and potentially in the long term, someone as a sort of third option, to be honest. No disrespect, but I got him when I could, and at this point we'd already spent up, and he was one of the last people available, putting it bluntly. For £9 million, we're going to pick up a very, very experienced bagsman in Martin, coming in for £9 million. 17 goals, 4 assists. When a man has played for Inter Milan, I'm going to take a gamble on him, okay? Because he's got there for a reason, and I tell you what, he done us so proud. A real strong striker who is described as a championship striker. Nonsense. And I did an instalment sign him, just to really guarantee, hopefully guarantee, staying up. Nathan Collins comes in for 34 million. The guy did play almost every game, and he is a rock-solid centre-back, but it does mean we have overspent our budget by a few £1,000,000, by about 20 million. But hopefully we can stay up in the Premier League. We'll get money for doing that, and then we can have a bit of a quieter transfer window next year. But with these signings, 2 things can happen here. Number 1, it goes incredibly well. We get inside the top 12, top 10. Option 2, we've signed basically an entire team. We're going right back down. Let's find out. Well, I tell you what, clearly getting the checkbook out has paid off because we are going to be in 7th place. Now, it doesn't say we've got any form of European football, sadly. I think we might do, but that is a great season, a remarkable season, as Fulham, Leicester and Bristol are going to go down. We outplace United in the Premier League, Brighton, Villa. Even Palace is happy. I'm happy to outplace Palace. I mean, that is a remarkable season. The new man up front is the 3rd top goal scorer in the Prem, which is absolutely insane. That's a great season. Now, the other 2 cups weren't the best, okay? A 2nd round exit against Burnley, you know, 1-0, not ideal, and a 5th round against Wolves, 1-0. But the main focus this season, let's not just sugarcoat things, okay, was only focusing on the Premier League. Now, I will say is that our recent form is Oh, okay. Our recent form is actually quite brutal. We've not actually won a game in 5 games, so I imagine we had a hot start at the start of the season, or a decent start, or maybe just was somewhat okay. I mean, looking at it, we did lose 14 games, but we did win 19, and the teams towards the bottom are winning sort of, 8, 9, 11 games, so we did win a fair few more games than the majority in the Premier League. We drew 5, and we got the job done. And that is all that I can ask for. In terms of the tactics then, who performed well? One thing I will say is our team is looking quite lackluster in terms of the backup options. So money, we need to spend again. Going over to it, we are going to have 19-4 from the new man up front. 14-4 from Balde, Nene 7-5, which is a decent return, and a bit of a quiet return from a lot of people here, as these are, Fleming, out for 3 to 4 weeks, Willock out for a couple of weeks, another injury here in right, he's out for 5 to 8 months, so he ain't going to get much, he didn't even do anything this season, and realistically, this is now going to be where, sadly, you're going to see the people that can hack this level and the people that can't. And that's where we come in, because we are going to have to strengthen every season. And we have got to say one thing very, very quickly, okay? What has happened in the Premier League right now is not where we are, okay? It's not where we are. I don't want to sound like one of them managers that refuses to admit that they're the favourite, or they refuse to admit they're a very good team. We are not a top 7 team. This is a miracle season, and next season, my aim is to finish inside the top 10. That is my aim for the next season. Consistent would be the word. Top 10 finish, that would then be a 7th place, and hopefully anything in the top 10. Then we look to push on. We are not a top 7 team. It was a very, very, very weird season. I don't know how we've actually managed to do it. What I will say is, it has given us 25 million. Are they having a laugh? I hope that's not updated or something, because 25 million, 100 oh, okay, right, yeah. Let's cue the next transfer window. I don't want to lie to you guys. I'm pretty nervous. So to correct the transfer budget, we actually had 42 million. They set the initial budgets literally around about 2 weeks after I done that save file. And the first signing is going to be Renato Vega, coming in from Ipswich Town, a decent Premier League player at a very, very multiple load of positions. Left back, centre back, DM, central midfield. He's versatile and he played a ton of games. 2 goals, 4 assists, a very, very, very good average return as well. And I tell you what, an average rating return. This guy is genuinely an absolute demon. He's 25, which is still quite good. Perfectionist, a good player, and he reminds me of a James Milner, but better. He can play in 4 positions at a maximum level. He can also, if you really wanted him to it, he could potentially play on the left wing. But the fact he can play left back, he's got the pace to play left back, he's got the tackling to play left back, he can play centre back, he can play DM, he's got the passing, the tackling, and he can also play centre mid. He's got the work rate, he's got the aggression, he's got the passing, he's got a bit of everything. A very well-rounded man for a total of 17 million. I'll take it. Man coming in on loan that we will never be able to afford, but hopefully just keeps us in that top 10, is going to be Jordan Millward, coming in from Man City on loan, 17 goals, 7 assists, and drops a 7.34 in the average rating. The guy is an absolute demon. I tell you what, he's rapid, great dribbling, great finishing, great composure, 20 determination, good off the ball work, good technique. The guy is everybody's dream, but he will only be here for this season. Let me tell you that. Unless we have got 900 million transfer budget. 0.7 million, we are going to welcome in Taylor Gardner-Hickman, coming in from Bristol for a total of 12, as I said, 32 appearances, 3 goals and 4 assists. This man is very similar to one of the previous signings we just showed you, because he can sort of do everything the other man can do, but on the other side of the pitch. So we've now got 2 very good players. This guy can't play centre-back, of course, like the former man can, but he can play higher up the right-hand side. So we're going after these players that don't just cover one area, they cover a multitude of areas, and because our squad size is quite small, players like this are vital. And lastly, for £5 million, again, thinking of versatility, and like I said, for 5.7, 37 appearances, 4 assists. We have picked up a player, 23 years of age, still can grow, got tons of stuff going for him already. He can cross, great concentration, good stamina, good work rate, great acceleration, great pace. He can play right back and left back to the same level. That is now our third incredibly versatile player. You've got the likes of Vega, who can play centre back, left back, DM, CM. You've got the likes of Hickman, who can play CM, DM, right back, right wing if you need to, and a very good player here who can play right back and of course left back. Obviously with this man here as well, he's just in one position, but that's almost where I want him to be. So we have made 4 very, very good signings here. Well, technically 1 loan signing. So 3 permanent signings, 1 just for this season. Let's go and see what happened. I will also say we did get the European football. We were in the Europa League. So our first time in the Europa League actually went really well, for now, in the league phase, as we are beating teams like Shakhtar, Lazio, Frankfurt, Olympiacos. We get a point here against APOEL, and we lose here against Benfica. But we do make it past the league phase through to the round of 16, where we do go on to beat Sporting, by the way, 4 goals to 1. A very, very strong start. We then play Borussia Dortmund and beat them 2-0. So that is 2 remarkable teams we have got through, as we go right through to the semis, where we are going to play Lazio and beat them 5-3. And we probably play the hardest team left in the whole competition in Newcastle. Right then, this is going to be the Europa League final against Newcastle, and let's see what we can do. Great give and go play here. Willock, that is one great ball, and the Loney is going to go through, and that is going to be a 1-0 lead inside of 16 minutes. Willock and Millward linking up very, very well, and a great challenge in there from the Loney again. Harness on the ball, through ball into Nene. The star man is going to take on his man. What a run inside, and that is going to be a 2-0 lead past Restes in goal as well, and we are going to go on to win and lift and celebrate and delight and every positive word, win the Europa League final with another goal from this super Manchester City loan player. Let's have it. That is right, we are going to be your Europa League winners, and that is exactly why you sometimes allow loan players, because without him we would have been missing 14 goals in that competition. He made the impact, and we have reclaimed and kept 7th place in the Premier League, and we have got Champions League football because we won the Europa League. And this is so, it's great news. The money's going to be there. The fans are going to be happy. Champions League football at Bradford is absolutely incredible. What I will say is, this man is everything. And I doubt we can afford to get him. If we go and actually ask about his availability, 36 and 55 million. I highly doubt we can afford to spend that. We will see what we get in terms of money. But he has done everything, man. I mean, 17 goals. He's also going to be in the player of the matches, the 2nd best performer in the Premier League. Nene, big shout out, the 2nd most assists as well. It's remarkable, man. So a top 7 finish, Europa League win, not the best display in the Cups, although a quarter-final appearance again isn't half bad. The exit against Crystal Palace come quite early, and it was only by a goal, but let's not try and downplay this, okay? Europa League winners, incredible. Champions League football next season, and I mean, what's the budget, please? Can I ask for 60 million? Oh, we can. 90 million pounds. So we can go and spend a fair bit of money, and maybe there is a world where Millward is going to come in, because the guy had 43 goal contributions. You sort of have to try and sign him. When a player's doing that, you have to go after him. Our striker, 18 and 4, Nene 13 and 14, a big improvement from last season. This man in midfield, who is currently a Sky Bet League 1 player, who was one of our big players a couple of seasons ago, 2 and 13, so quite well there. 6 goals coming in there for Tusi, 4 and 3 for Harness. But the big thing that's becoming quite obvious is every season we're discovering a couple of players that might not really be cutting the mustard, and one of the players, unfortunately, despite being decent when it comes to these stats, I think it's going to be the goalkeeper. I really like this keeper. He's done really well for me so far, but I don't think he is going to win me a Premier League. So I think we are going to look to potentially offload Hilton and bring in a first-team goalkeeper and have this guy as backup. You look to the likes of the centre-backs, maybe get another centre-back in, and go from there, really. A great season from our left-back, by the way. Both of the wing-backs, newbies. 3 and 8 and 8 assists there. A great season. But there is still bags of room for improvement in this team. And luckily, we've been given the budget to do it. So, next season, that's now 7th place back-to-back. I'm not going to sit here and downplay things, as I said. When I don't want to be that guy who just, you know, refuses to say that we're on a good path. I guess the next step is top 4, isn't it? Technically, that's the next step. Or I guess you could say top 6. Right then, so we have picked up a very, very, very good goalkeeping option here. It's going to be Callum McKenna coming in for 24 million. 12 clean sheets, a very, very good average rating as well. And he is just a bit more of a built-up goalkeeper. He's 23 as well, so still quite young. But he has played in the Premier League with Bournemouth for a fair bit. And I tell you what, this is an option for a goalkeeper that I rarely sign. I rarely go for a player like this, but he was one of the better ones that got scouted for me. And I thought, do you know what? Let's go with somebody different that is also still very, very good. And I'm not being funny. 24 million for a keeper that is now valued at 97. Good business. You've got a free signing to talk about. It is going to be Mark Gui, I believe is how you say that. Now, he's a decent Premier League player that sadly didn't get a single look in the team. So he was registered, but clearly just not good enough to get into the team. He was brought in for a backup because he was a free signing, but didn't even touch the pitch. So got to keep a close eye on him. 7.5 million, we are going to welcome in Stefan Bajcetic, coming in from Liverpool for a total of 11 million. And he also didn't play a single game. A man that was brought in for a backup option. He is currently a Sky Bet Championship player, but he's too good to send to the under-21s. I don't want to loan him out because I need him for backup, but he needs to play a few games. Not happy with the assistant there because this guy's good enough to play some games. Trust me. Not the best for business, but the best for our hearts, hopefully. Jordan Millward is going to be a Bradford City player for 75 million. And once again, something clearly is going on here because this guy doesn't play a game either. So maybe they weren't registered. They should have been because I literally went into the squad and registered them. But what I will say is, I am going to pull my hair out if they haven't been registered because I literally went onto the squad and registered them all completely fine. But that can't happen for 3 new signings, right? Although, McKenna got game time. And he got registered the same time as these. So what is going on? What physically is going on? This would have impacted our results massively. Massively. In fact, let's go... Yeah, it's impacted everything. So I'm going to include this in a video because I'm not perfect, guys, okay? At the end of the day, I make mistakes in videos and I'm going to keep it in. I have had a stinker. Something's happened here because our best players haven't been registered. I mean, these cups we're going to be knocked out in. Runners up in the Super Cup. Not bad in the Champions League compared... I mean, considering at the end of the day, we have literally got probably none of our first team in there. Well, not none, but 4 of them. Won the Friendly Cup final. I mean, it is what it is. And 10th in the Premier League. Now, did these not play? Yeah, 4 and 5. He's done very well, the striker. 12 and 3, considering he's not in the Premier League, is a great return. I'm going to keep this in because it's almost like one of them funny moments, but jokes aside, this isn't a funny moment. That is really, really bad. And that has probably, well, definitely set us back now. What's the money looking like? Around about 45, 49 million, which is actually quite generous considering the season we've just had. That was a voice break. I'll keep that in as well. I'm losing my head. It's utter head loss. Next season. What have I done? Then, the next signing is going to be Enrique Fernandez. We popped the release clause from, I believe, is that the Uruguayan League for 8.7 million, 37 appearances. He was registered this time, 6 goals, 5 assists, and drops a 7.05 average rating. The guy is a remarkable midfield player, okay? He's already incredibly good at 22. He's got great determination, great decision making, great vision, great technique, great first touch. The guy is the real deal. Genuinely the real deal. So very happy he has joined us. And to finalise it, we are going to pick up a player for 39.5 million in Fabio, a very, very good centre-back who, again, was registered. And he has done a very, very good job. Now, I tell you one thing right now, okay? A great centre-back, a great midfield player, and to be honest with you, our first time actually seeing Bajcetic, Mark and Jordan actually being registered for the Premier League. So it's almost like we have signed 5 players compared to the 2. So this is going to be a very interesting season, because I don't know how far we would have got in the Premier League if these 3 would have been registered. I really don't know. And now we've added these 2 more into the mix. Are we now going to get that top 4 finish? That could become a reality. So I think we want to go and have a little look. So back at Wembley for an FA Cup final against Crystal Palace, and sadly for us, it gets off to an awful start. A great ball in and a great touchdown, to be fair, from Carboni. You can't knock it. It's a great first touch. Luckily for us, we get back into the game. Millward down the left-hand side into Vega, the star left-back. Plenty of space into Millward, who was finally allowed to play games. And look, when they can actually play, they will score goals. Mark is going to get us back into the game. And literally about 11 minutes after, Bajatek now can play as well. Down the right-hand side, driving at the back line, a ball inside the box. And it is going to be Mark again. And we are going to be your FA Cup winners. Tell you what, we nearly done the same in the Carabao Cup. Chelsea just about beat us in the final. But we have won the Premier League, which is, it goes to show what we could have done last season. We win the Premier League, Jordan Millward the most assists, and also Mark coming in there with 26 goals. Goalkeeper, second most clean sheets. Nene, second most player of the matches. So we are a Premier League winning team in 2031. And we are going to go right to the trophy cabinet and see how beautiful that looks. We also did win this trophy here, and it is beautiful what we have done for this club. Now, I do apologise about the previous season, as we do end on a very strong note here. That was a bit of a stinker from me. Clearly, I must not have clicked register, whatever I done, because there's no reason for them not to play. But they're now all in the team, and we now all can play, and we can really look at what we've left this team at, because I have left a bit of a legacy here. A great goalkeeper, a great right back, great left back, good solid centre backs in the mix. Bajatek into the first team, 4 and 8, 4 and 6 coming in there for Gardner Hickman, the very versatile man. Fernandez right into the team, 7 and 7. Nene, 9 and 12. Millward, who is probably the man of the video, 17 and 21. 35 and 3 from Big Mark up front. Good options on the bench as well. Tons of players you can turn to. And I tell you what, the job was done a bit quicker than what I thought, but we were, it was quite a consistent bit of growth apart from the last season. A couple of seasons in 7th place, then a 10th place, of course, we will include, and then the 1st place. So it goes to show quite clearly that these couple of signings and these 3 signings here is all that we needed. We needed just to sort of craft up the spine of the team a little bit, and we were ready. And if you are going to carry on this rebuild file, you've got 37 million to take into the next window, a great team, and your challenge is going to be to win the English treble. That is what I'm going to set you as a task to do, and that is going to be me very happy. We've come up from Sky Bet League 2 to Sky Bet League 1 to the Sky Bet Championship. We've then got promoted from the Championship to the Premier League. We've won a Europa League. We've won an FA Cup. We've won pre-season stuff. We've won the Premier League. We've done Bradford proud. And if you are from Bradford, drop me a little orange love heart. I want to see how many Bradford fans decide to watch this. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe when you're there, and I'll catch you on the other side.